Hey, what's up? This is CaptainChurrr, and this is a requested deck from RAF-WNG. This is like my 5th time I've made this video because I've went far too long babbling about all the cards and all the effects, and the other times is my mic got fucked. It's just my audio wasn't coming through for some weird reason. But yeah, instead of it's hard to keep this video under 20 minutes or even under 15 minutes, because when I try to explain the combo, it still won't make sense unless I tell you guys the effects of the other cards. But I'll try my best to go as fast as I can. This was one of the most frustrating decks I ever had to build. This deck suffers from so many problems. The first problem is protection. This deck has no protection for the Yubel monsters. Your opponent can just easily Dark Hole, Raigeki, banish it, pop it, but the only thing your opponent can't do to these cards is destroy by battle. And if it had some card or some support that protects it from card effects, then Yubel will be a good deck, but unfortunately it doesn't, and this deck is trash, so I don't recommend anyone playing this deck unless you're a Yubel fan, or you just want something to play against friends, like and playing casually or in friendly battles, friendly duels, let's say. Yeah, you can play this deck. The second problem with this deck was draw power, and if you add a draw power to the deck, you won't have space for other cards, and especially protection cards. Cards that protect yourself, like Solemn Brigade, Mirror Forces, Drowning, Quaking, Bottomless Trap Hole, all that stuff. So you kind of had to choose between the two, because if you try to make a balance with it, or even if you just had an upstart Goblin and one day or peace, that's just not good enough. You break really hard with this deck. The main deck, like the main builds I've always seen is like triple Armageddon Knight, triple Dark Griffer, triple Malicious, triple Shaman, double Summoner Monk, triple Battle Fader, whatever monster there was, monster lineup there was. If you chose to go with the protection cards, the deck will just be so slow, you'll brick, and yeah, you just won't get to your combo pieces fast enough. And if you went with draw power with that monster lineup, like card of demise or hand destruction, you're just wasting resources, because those cards really don't have grave effects. So I decided I decided to go with draw power firstly, and then I was thinking about how can I optimize the draw power cards, and I thought about the Shadow, running a Shadow engine, and this leaves you +1 with card demise, hand destruction, or any of the effects like Armageddon Knight, Dark Griffer, effects that sends monsters from your deck to the grave, or just pitching the Shadows from your hand to your grave. Activates the effects, and they have good effects to leave you +1, like this card. Move Shadows to the grave. When this card's pitched, special summons itself face down. This card this pops back row, and this card just draws. And even when this card is on the field and you flip it, draw 2 cards. So this card is a draw power itself, and you can recycle it with Falco's flip effect, which is special summon Shadow monster from your grave and face down. This flip effect is return a card to the hand, and this flip effect is destroy a monster. So Shadow has a good affinity with this deck, and it works well with Yubel here to help it rank up to Terra Incarnate and Ultimate Nightmare. Um, so I have you guys, if you guys are gonna take the deck, read it, read each card yourself, get familiar with how each card works. I'm just gonna talk about the combo plays to help shorten this video. And yeah, the extra deck. I added these cards because this deck also suffers from win condition, and relying on just the Yubels is not good enough. The Yubels, if you don't know, I just quick over it. Can't be destroyed by battle. Each one of these cards can't be destroyed by battle, and takes no battle damage from battles involving this card. And before damage calculation, when this face-up attack position card is attacked by opponent's monster, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the monster's attack. And that's the whole point of the Yubel deck, is to get your opponent to attack you. And you got cards like All Out Attacks and Battle Mania to help you force your opponent to attack your Yubels. But that's not good enough. You need different win conditions, and those different win conditions need to be your main goal. If they're your main goal, just naturally you'll still be able to go into your Yubel plays and win that way if you want. But all the plays in the deck revolve around Doom Shaman. This is the hard and soul of the deck, and you want to get this card in your grave as soon as possible. And we got various cards that help you get this card from your deck to your grave, or from your hand to the grave. So you got Dark Griffer, Armageddon Knight, you got Card of Demise, you got Hand Destruction, Foolish Burial, Twin Twister. So there's lots of ways to get in the grave. And the combo you want to do with this card, with Yubel. So the combo with Yubel is you want Doom Shaman in your grave, or you want a monster set. So if you have a monster set, you can tribute summon Doom Shaman onto the field. And then if you had Supervise in your hand, equip Supervise, becomes an effect monster, and you can special summon Yubel from your grave if Yubel's in your grave. And when both of these cards are on the field, in your turn, for Yubel to stay on the field, it needs to tribute a card, and you attribute Doom Shaman. And when Doom Shaman's removed from the field, its effect is to destroy all special summon monsters that are the Fiend monsters, because Yubel's a Fiend. Its effect is it can special summon Fiend monsters from either player's graves. But once it's removed from the field, it destroys the monsters that it special summoned by its effect. So Yubel gets removed from the field, and Yubel's effect is if it's removed from the field by a card effect, it besides its own, it can rank up into Yubel the Terror Incarnate. And you want this card on the field, just helps you store your opponent. And this card doesn't need any tributes to stay on the field, and at the end of each of your turns, this card dark holes the monster zones, just completely wipes every monster on the field. And if you got your Shadows on the field, that's going to leave you +1 and get rid of your opponent's monsters as well. And when Yubel Terror Incarnate, when this is removed from the field, you can go into your Ultimate Nightmare. And you can, doesn't matter if these cards of Incarnate or Ultimate Nightmare is in your graveyard or in your deck or in your hand, wherever they are, they get special summoned. So yeah, that's the Yubel play. And the other plays, you're gonna need, you can just have one, but just for example, I'm just showing you the full the max combo play. Is if you have the Swing on Memories, Supervise, and a Silent Doom. So that's 5 cards, and it's easy to get them with your draw power cards. You can also have this card, Limit Reverse, set the turn before. Have Dark Tinker in your grave, have Doom Shaman in your grave, have Malicious in your grave, and also have Falco in your grave. So a combo you can do is use Silent Doom, which special summons one normal monster, and Doom Shaman is treated as a normal monster when it's face up on the field or in the graveyard. So Silent Doom special summons Doom Shaman in defense position, and then once that happens, you go back to your grave, banish Malicious from your grave, and when you do that, you can special summon the second copy, which will be in your deck. Hopefully you haven't drawn it, but if it's in your deck, special summon it from your deck. So now you got 2 level 6s on the field. XYZ into Beatrice, which is the main XYZ play you want to make. 2500 attack. During either player's turn, it can attach a material and send one dark, not one dark, it can send any card from your deck to the grave. And that's really good with this deck, because you can send Shadows to extend plays. Like if you want to send Shadow Beast to draw extra card, send Shadow, pop opponent's back row. You can send Falco and the second Falco, and that will get special summoned to the field face down. Or if you just want to move an extra Shadow into the grave, you can use Squamata and then send another one. But yeah, with Beatrice, the material you want to detach is Doom Shaman, so Doom Shaman gets back into the grave. So now you got Beatrice on the field, Doom Shaman in the grave, and then you want to use your Swing on Memories. And Swing on Memories is special summon one normal monster from your graveyard. It is destroyed during the end phase of this turn, but that won't matter because we're going to be making synchros. And so Swing on Memories, Doom Shaman's on the field, and that'll be our first Swing on Memories. So Doom Shaman's on the field, use Supervise. It can only, and that equips to Doom Shaman, since it's can only be equipped to a Gemini monster, and it becomes an effect monster. So this becomes an effect monster, so you don't have to normal summon it. And that gives you the option, if you have like a Dark Griff or Armageddon Knight in your hand, you can, it gives you an option because you're not going to be normal summoning. So Doom Shaman with Supervise, it gains its effect. You can special summon a Fiend monster. Still summoning Yubel, you can summon Dark Tinker, and Dark Tinker is a level 2 tuner, Fiend monster. So now you got Beatrice, Doom Shaman and Dark Tinker on the field. Synchro summon into your level 8, and you want to go into this card first always, because 3000 attack, 3000 defense, cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. So Dark Hole won't work, Raigeki won't work, trap cards that destroy monsters won't work against this card, like Mirror Force won't work. The only way to get rid of this card is if your opponent has a card like Drowning Mirror Force or Storming Mirror Force or Quaking Mirror Force, which will set it face down and it can never get into face up unless your opponent attacks it. But that's the only way your opponent can get rid of it, and that just gives you enough store time to set up your Yubel plays. So now you got Bazil and you got Beatrice on the field, 3000 attack, 2500 attack, and Supervise effect will activate because when you synchro summon Doom Shaman with Dark Tinker, Supervise also got removed from the field since it was equipped to Doom Shaman, and Supervise effect will activate if this face up card is sent from the field to the graveyard. Target one normal monster in your graveyard, special summon it. And since when Doom Shaman's in the graveyard, it's treated as a normal monster, Doom Shaman gets special summoned to the field. So now you got 3 monsters on the field, one with 3000 attack, one with 2500 attack, and Doom Shaman 2400 attack. And remember, we haven't normal summoned yet. So Doom Shaman's back on the field. Activate Limit Reverse. So Limit Reverse, and we can special summon our Falco, and it's a level 2 tuner. So we got Falco on the field along with our 2 monsters from our extra deck and Doom Shaman, and now we can make another synchro level 8 synchro play. And depending on what your opponent's playing, like if your opponent's playing like a Blue Eyes and that, you want to go on Scarlet Light. If your opponent Sorry, the recording ended. Now I know the video's gone over 50 minutes, but as I was saying, you can also, if you're playing Blue Eyes and your opponent didn't have the Blue Eyes on the field yet, but they maybe one turn, the next turn they had the conditions to bring the Blue Eyes on the field, you can go ahead and bring Crimson Blader. So if they had a Maiden on the field, you can take Maiden with Bazel, and they'll special summon the Blue Eyes. Oh no, you can take the Maiden with Beatrice, and the Maiden will activate, turn the defense, negate the attack, and special summon Blue Eyes. Then you can take out the Blue Eyes with Bazel. Then you can take out the Maiden with Crimson Blader, and then in your opponent's next turn, because this card's effect, your opponent cannot normal or special summon level 5 or higher monsters during the next turn, so it just locks them down. Omega, late game, you want this card late game. This card wins you games, and it just trolls your opponent, especially if your opponent has low count of cards in their hand or no cards in their hand, and you special summon Omega, and then you end your turn. Now it's your opponent's turn, they draw the one card, activate Omega's effect, banish that card in their hand and Omega from the field, and then Omega comes back when it's your turn, and their card they got banished returns to their hand, but they don't get to play that card that they drew. And Scrap Dragon is really good with this deck. Has affinity with the Shadows, and also has it works good with Yubel. So if you have Yubel on the field and Scrap Dragon, destroy, target one card you control, one card your opponent controls, and destroy them. So if you had Yubel on the field, use Scrap Dragon to take out Yubel, and then you can rank up into Terra Incarnate. But just for this combo, as I was saying, now you had Beatrice, you had Bazel, you made the Bazel with the Dark Tinker and Doom Shaman, and then you brought back, Doom Shaman got brought back. You used Limit Reverse with Shadal Falco, and then you get to Synchro Summon again. Let's just say you picked Crimson Blader, so now you got Beatrice, Crimson Blader, Bazel on the field, and now you can use Swing on Memories to bring back Doom Shaman once more. And now you can normal summon. Now you can normal summon Doom Shaman because you haven't normal summoned yet. And then you can activate a special effect, bring back Dark Tinker, and go again. You can go Scarlet 3000 or whatever. Choose whatever you want. So now you got, let's just say Scarlet for example. So we got Scarlet, Crimson Blader, Bazel, Beatrice on the field. That's 2,500 attack, 3,000 attack, 2,800 attack, and 3,000 attack. That's just, and then if you had the last Swing on Memories, play the Swing on Memories again. Doom Shaman, that's 5 monsters on the field, over 2,000 attack, and that's the kind of plays you can make with this deck. Remember, always use your Shadows to extend plays. The main card you want to go to in your extra deck, Bazel and Beatrice. Also to remember, when Beatrice is destroyed by your opponent's card effects or destroyed by your opponent's monsters, you can special summon Dante, Pilgrim of the Burning Abyss. So that's just something to remember. And the reason why I play 2 of them is because I run 2 copies of Limit Reverse, and a target for Limit Reverse is Malicious. So, and the other Malicious, the one that's not banished, the other one will be in Beatrice, and of course you know when you end your turn and your opponent's turn, you can choose to activate during your opponent's turn, pitch Malicious, and if you had another Limit Reverse, you can summon Limit Reverse if one of your monsters got taken out. and then you got Doom Shaman Militia, so you can go into a second Beatrice. But Dante's program of the Burning Abyss is really good because it can't be targeted by opponent's card effects. It's 2800 attack, and when this card is destroyed, you can send one random card in your opponent's hand to the grave. So it's really good. And yeah, this is the Yubel deck. This is what I came up with. The side, you got Burial from a different dimension. If you had to, you can side it in, and so you don't have to worry if you have to banish your Yubels to draw 2 cards with Allure of Darkness. Got an instant fusion for Norden, so you play instant fusion, pay 1000 life points, special summon Outer Entity Norden, and if you got a level 4 in your grave, you can special summon the level 4, so you got 2 level 4s and you can go into your rank 4 XYZ plays. Castell, Staple, Emerald mills cards back from your grave to your deck, and you can draw 1 card. Dark Rebellion just helps you get over boss monsters, and 101 helps you deal with special summon monsters. Reasoning thins out the deck. Battle Mania, you can put that in if you want, but this works with your Yubels. You got Call of the Haunted if you want more revival. Solemn Brigade, Staple, Maxi, Staple, Mystic Tomato. If it's destroyed by battle, you can special summon Yubel. It's another way to bring Yubel on the field. So yeah, this is what I came up with. Shout out to Ref WNG. It was a challenge making this deck. Hope you guys like it. If you have any more requests, let me know. Post it in the comments. Still working on the decks that's in my backlog that I've yet to upload. Odd Eyes, DDD, and all that stuff. Cyframes, Burning Abyss. There was some others I can't remember at the moment. My head's gone blank. This video is definitely 20 minutes. What a fail, but yeah. Also got matches with this deck that will be uploaded tomorrow or the day after, so keep an eye out for that. Once again, I stress that if you're not a Yubel fan, do not play this deck. It's trash, has no chance against meta decks, and you struggle against decent decks. Also, when I eventually upload the matches with this deck, I wasn't able to get a match with Ultimate Nightmare because by the time I was ready to get into Ultimate Nightmare, my opponent will rage quit or I got OTK'd. So yeah, it was really hard. It was really hard for me to get into it, but I'll post recommendations or what other cards you can put in your side deck or in the main in the comments. So yeah, this is the Yubel deck, and see you in the next video.